All right, cyber traders, welcome on back here this Wednesday, May 3rd. Hopefully my audio is better this time. We are good to go, at least inside our live trading room. Scott, John, Sam, Roger, all of us joining us there, all of us joining us back on social media, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, the works. I was good to go tagging in for Fausto this morning. I was saying that from yesterday, the bad audio. Fixed it, should be good to go now. Great to see all of us though, otherwise. Great to have this IMGN trade back up and running again. I'm in this trade from 1150. So for right now, this is a phenomenal runner here heading into the afternoon. We were hopeful to see this re-break above 12, and now that it did, let's hope for this to really run up higher now at this point. 12 is a historical level. We were following back from the weekly chart that was back from 2018. Really throughout the day, the stock was playing off the whole number of levels pretty nicely, albeit though the 1150 was a specific level we were calling out beginning from pre-market this morning. So there's a lot of levels to focus in on with this stock. I mean, like we just said, the whole number's out there. But from pre-market at 9 a.m. Eastern shortly after, there was a 226,000 share print that was filled on the bid. But that was at 1150. So with that, it led to a huge pop-up shortly afterwards, a drop, then a pop. We traded this all throughout the morning. But then just recently, it held over 1150. It did a really good job. Actually, I jumped in right from here at this point. Been in the trade for a little while now. Almost got stopped out here, actually. But, hey, at this point, as long as you set stops that are pretty tight, worst that happens is you take a small loss or you go break even. And, all right, well, maybe you can get back in on the trade after. Maybe there's another trade you can get in on. So with that, I'm fortunate to say the cookie has crumbled well on this IMGN. It could still shake back down, so I hope that doesn't happen during this meeting. But either way, I'm going to put this back on our main list. Certainly, as long as this can remain over 12, you're in really good standings here because, again, I mean, 12 is just the historical taken from the weekly chart. 1150 is my entry, so got some good cushion room right now for this trade, but I want to see this run higher sooner than later. Of course, we're coming off the Fed meeting that concluded at 2 o'clock, folks. I know that Powell's on right now, but basically the Fed rates are being hiked again. I guess there may have been some talk about what's happening with all of the banking, crisis going on here, that perhaps there is a thought of them saving the next hike up until late June, July time, right? That was not the case. Now, what's going to happen is we're going to see Powell come out with a bunch of different comments that will affect the market. So we'll take a look to see what the SPY is doing just by the end of this meeting. Let's go right from top to bottom otherwise, though. I mean, really outside of the FOMC meeting concluding, we've had a bunch of these crazy stocks, not even IMGN. This was actually like a normal stock for us on this morning. But I'm talking about like HCDI. Right now, the stock is halted again. It's up 133%. Unfortunately, this is not like a great stock to be trading. And unfortunately, the theme of today, outside of IMGN and outside of the Fed meeting, is these pump and dumps. GDC, ACGN, SNTG, APM. I could probably keep going through. Top. I mean, this above all, this number one, we should not be trading looking at how big the spread is, right? PIII. I was catching up with an old friend just earlier. I was showing him this. It moved up to this big iceberg order at 305, this PIII trade. Well, for as much as it pumped up already to that price, yeah, it broke above it by a bit, but no surprise seeing the end result after. It was a false breakout, but the stock dropped nearly a full buck back down after. So, you don't want to get stuck holding on to these trades. You don't want to be stuck on the top of the roller coaster on the way down. So, with that, IMGN still going to have on our watch list. Everything else, though, like a giant dud so far. See what else is out there here, though. MRSN. It's kind of near the high still. I'm really not particular about this stock, not because it's untradeable, not because it's like on a bad spread or any of that. It's near the highs. But look how unreadable level 4 actually is here. I mean, yeah, it's got a tight spread, but I mean, if you could read this better than me, then I'd be impressed. Because this is impossible to read. Not just I'm saying I'm good at. No, this is like mission impossible here. I can't pick a level out for the life of me on this. Maybe the red dot that came in, 1.7 million share fill. That's something there, but otherwise, I mean, again, I'll pass on this for right now. If this makes a pop by the end of the meeting, I'll look at it, but I'm not expecting the book map to be any prettier looking there. All right, we keep it going really otherwise. I mean, again, the market's reacting coming off of Powell's comments that he is currently making. I always have a little competition here at 2:30 Eastern. Man, bunch of cheapies here, 28 cents, 46, 60 cents. We're skipping those. We're not trading those really. AHT. Now, this stock we've traded in the past, like once or twice before. You could see from the weekly the big drop that this had back from 19 into pandemic and after. So we traded this. It was more during the pandemic, around 21 or so. Like probably, I think it was this spike up here, and the stock had to have done a reverse stock split or like four over the recent like months because this was not a 20, 60, $70 stock back then, so it was likely based off a reverse split. Right now, hey, I like the fact that it's at the highs. I kind of feel like it's going to be the same thing as the other one, as the MSGN trade, as far as how ugly it looks on the order book. I'm not fully committed to this just yet, actually. I mean, it looks good looking at this regular chart, but let's see if there's anything else just looking stronger on the way up more, making a sharper push. UIS, BuzzFeed, they're going out of business. All right, so there's definitely a lot more that's up percentage-wise, folks, because like number 50 is up 15%. So I'm going to need your help for Leda, Michael, John, Scott, Brian, Bell, and all of us here. Otherwise, let me know if there's anything that's looking good on the way up here, because I don't see a whole lot here on the gainer side. Otherwise, got a few to begin. You got the IMGN at least that's definitely on there. We'll check in on the other side of the stocks just in a moment. Yeah, that's really all I see so far. That's fine. That's fine by me. I mean, if anything, I guess the one I skipped over, I saw it just a second ago. I saw the price, and I'm thinking maybe it's popping now. Oh, it popped from earlier. GNS. I actually missed it. All right. So last I recalled yesterday, this stock was at $1. I saw on the price column there is at 112. I was like, oh, maybe it's pushing up. I actually missed the move up from this morning, believe it or not. So, yeah, GNS, the stock here, not looking too tempting for the close, at least just not yet. All right, let's hop over to the loser side here, seeing if there's anything looking just as good, if not better. A whole bunch of crap that's hard to borrow. A lot of stuff down big. So I am trying to kind of look at them quickly, seeing like, oh, is it like liquidity? Is it liquid enough? Is it, within our price range? NRDS easy to borrow at the low of the day, down big, but on too thin of an order book right now for my liking, especially coming off the Fed meeting. It's not like all of a sudden, everyone's back at their desk right now. Probably tomorrow morning will be a pretty interesting morning altogether, I'd say. Probably Friday this week, just to wrap up. All right, so I'll tell you what, folks, it's not me really being lazy. I could just tell. There's not much here that we've looked at so far, not much else on the gainers or losers lists here that we could see that look good. If there is anything, type it in the chat. Definitely let me know. Lita's saying GDC testing 6. If you're looking to catch a falling knife, perhaps, but this is not really the trade I'm looking for. We got to find a stock near the highs of the day right now or near the lows if it's going to be a short. Sam saying to check out EYPT. That was perhaps from a bit earlier, and I saw that before. I kind of moved away from it quick. It does have a bit of a spread there, Sam, so you are correct with saying that. John S. saying AI. Hey, it's tradable. It's up over 3.5 or 3+% near the highs. We appreciate that part of it, right? Let's see what else is out there first. It's not a bad one, but I want to see if there's something more liquid, perhaps tighter spread, perhaps. But the fact it's moving up and at the highs, John, I do appreciate. John S. and then John G. I was going from bottom to top. Now going to John on FSR. Yeah, I mean, hey, this is up a decent amount today. It's just so slow, right? Had a big pop from last week. That's what I recall in this trade. So it had a huge dump off after. I mean, hey, if it pushes up higher, I'm sure you're already in, John, and I'll read it on. It's very tradable by all means. But again, so far, nothing really standing out too much to me here altogether. The only one on our main list is that damn IMGN. That's it. It's getting the job done. So if that's all we need, hey, I'll take it. I'll take it if this is all we need. It's holding over my level now at 12, so that's looking pretty strong. I will add AHT now at this point on our main list. It's up a lot. It's at the highs. So I'll add that. And then the wacky MRSN, it's actually popping a new high as we speak. This is the one that I said had the ugly looking book map, the ugly looking level 4. And I'll still stand by that. But for right now, if you're looking for a chart level to try and enter off of, maybe just a clean looking top, that's 655-ish, 654-ish. Wow, pretty strong reaction already on this. The goal of this would be to see more eyes catching on to this trade from this point forward. You might be a new attendee joining us here. You might be saying, oh, it's up too much already. I mean, what's the point? Well, if you said that here, then you probably said that on IMGN, and look what happens, right? So, of course, there's a threshold. The more it goes up, the more I personally say, yeah, it's not going to continue, right? But the more you're here with us inside our live trading room, the more that you see these stocks like MRSN that are up 40% or 50% or 55%, they keep going. Not all of them. But, that's where you say, hey, if this stock keeps showing higher lows, if this doesn't pull back under this 652-ish chart level, then there's definitely good reason, good cause to believe that this could run much higher. All right, latest saying HCDI halt. Yeah, that's the wacky one, Leda. Moving away from that. We get distracted by all these crazy stocks. We watch these and we don't enter them, and then we don't enter the ones that we should have been watching the whole time. Right? So for any of our students here that are actively trading, I would say start and stick with what we have here on our watch list so far. The IMGN, definitely. The AHT, and I guess for now, that MRSN proving me wrong right now. All right, folks. So, hey, for all of us on social media, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, the works, I appreciate you folks sticking with me throughout this entire day today. Fausto should be back come tomorrow morning. I say that especially because I didn't take a single sip of water here this meeting, dealing with a dry mouth Josh here. So I appreciate you folks sticking with me there. Any questions that you have, feel free to shoot me a quick email. Josh@c2trading.com is my handle. Any questions or trades that you'd want to go over, send it over right there. Otherwise, if you're interested in joining us inside our live trading room, just go right down to the link on the green banner below the stream to get yourself set up and started. But for John, Leda, and all of us there live just joining us here, I'll be on a coaching call up until 3:30. So I'll be in the chat seeing if there's any trades out there with you folks, all right? But aside from that, best of luck trading going into the market close. Talk to you all soon.